Most important question today is how to sit together and to discuss, not a one-two person to see what's supposed to all us in this planet. Start to raise the questions about what's important.
Are you bending the truth of climate change?
Why are African states less developed than Western states?
And what I'd like to know
is the proper balance Jewish values and other values in a democracy.
I have a few questions. Why do they dislike Americans?
How does an individual relate to the group in the 21st century?
This place has a lot of history. And this place is, used to burn books of people who speak things other people don't like to know. And maybe that's why we come here to August Pyaoblkml's in the middle of Berlin, where books got burned, their thoughts got burned, their freedom of speech got burned here.
It's wonderful to see all the beautiful faces around this table. We have a long day ahead of us, so we're going to go right into the program. Today, we ask and we begin to discover answers to 100 questions chosen from thousands donated by people from all around the world.
We will ask them all over the course of the next 9 hours.
Okay, so turn the camera a bit straight rather than that way. please. Thank you. Not so much. A little bit there. Thank you. Okay.
Together we come together as one to celebrate our diversity and to gather a multiplicity of viewpoints.
Thank you for being here with us.
At the table of free voices.
Question 1.
From Anonymous, USA.
What is today's most important unreported story?
You can start with your answer.
What ought to be reported today and definitely does not is how much life costs, the price of life on this planet.
We are going from crisis to crisis, and we only report a portion of the story. When the guns of battle are silenced, we then forget about that country, that region that has suffered conflict, and we go to report a different story. And when we do so, we
Also
only
ich würde mit Darfur beginnen. Die Ausrottung von Bevölkerungen, nur weil sie eine andere Religion haben oder eine andere Rasse haben und die Welt kaum interessieren, weil sie keine Ressourcen haben, kein Erdöl.
The most unreported story of today is the truth behind the global terrorism. We have no idea, really no idea, what is the truth behind it. Who is alive, who is dead, who is advancing it, who is pioneering it, who is making use of it in his or their favor.
There are children who has been slaved, human, trafficked.
The millions and millions of people crossing borders illegally in search for a better life.
I think today's most important unreported story is the story of the young girl who died 10 minutes ago of malaria. She died needlessly because the drugs to be able to kill the malaria parasite exist and are cheap. But she didn't get those drugs. And she died, and just now another child died. And this story goes unreported.
I don't think that is today's one most important unreported story. There are many unreported stories throughout the world.
It's the good things that are happening in the world. We don't hear about the good things that are happening in the world. There are such wonderful things happening out there. All we ever hear about is the bad news, the death, the destruction, wars, killing, murders, rapes.
Problemas. Os jornais, se você torce, pode dar a impressão que se tem que pode sair sangue.
Thank you. Question 12 from Judy Tweed, 24 Denver, USA.
Should we have the right to choose where we live?
Now that's an interesting question.
I like it.
A gente nasce
né? A gente nasce num ponto do planeta Terra, e se a gente não quer ficar ali, vai para outro lugar, mas também quando a gente vai para outro lugar, a gente é discriminado.
Llegué hace 2 días y ya tengo que irme el 11 porque solo me dieron una visa de 4 días. Como colombiano, como ciudadano del mundo, no se me permite entrar a este paraíso, al paraíso del primer mundo, sino 4 días.
Well, I believe, of course, we should have the right to choose where we live. I mean, we live in a world where capital can move, where goods can move, and I don't understand why there is so much hysteria about people moving.
For example, one time I wanted to go to Dubai, but because I have a 1951 Geneva Convention passport, I was not allowed. And the reason for this, I asked, they told me that because I didn't belong anywhere.
Everybody wishes to live in a place that is free of war. Everybody wishes to live a harmonious existence, but some people can buy that and others cannot. Some people can lay claim to that right and others are just not in a position to do so. Yes, we all of us have the right, or should have the right to live wherever we want, but all of us should be able to afford to do so.
Sometimes you have to move to be able to support your family. Now, if you're crossing borders and you are not recognized by their state, does that mean you're illegal? By definition of the state, but I don't think that as humans we can really say another human is illegal.
And the people who are moving are mostly doing so because they are desperate. They're taking enormous risks. Look at the people who are arriving in the Canary Islands every week in makeshift boats, and they're arriving on the beach by the hundreds. And these people are absolutely desperate. Otherwise, they would not have left. That's not a fair choice. That's not saying I'm going to choose where I'm going to live. You're not going to choose to risk 9 chances out of 10 of drowning or being killed before you actually arrive. That's not a choice.
You could also ask the question, shouldn't we have the right to remain where we are? This is a very urgent question for many, many people on this earth.
Like Tibetan people, and myself as a Tibetan, and we don't have this right. Yes, we can live in our country, but not necessarily we can do what we want to.
Le jour où le droit atteindrait effectivement la possibilité de donner ce droit sans restriction à tous les hommes, ce jour-là, l'humanité aura franchi plus qu'une limite. Elle aura atteint un degré d'évolution tout à fait désirable par toutes les cultures et par toutes les nations.
It's important we can live where we want to. And everyone, I think it's important their nets. Even the birds need their net. The human being need their homes.